Should we be surprised that you guys get down 0-2 in the finals and it's a guy from Marquette who just does crazy things? Should we be surprised by that?
Look, how else do you say it other than, Jimmy F. and Butler? But this is what he wanted. This is what we wanted. It's really hard to analyze or describe Jimmy until you actually feel him between the four lines. He is a supreme elite competitor, and we needed it. Obviously this was a very desperate, urgent game, and he was doing it on both ends of the court. Just put his imprint at every important part of the game. He's in the top percentile of this entire association in terms of conditioning. And you saw he just got stronger as the game went on. But in terms of, you saying a Marquette guy, Dwayne swore to us. He looked us, Pat and I, dead in the eye and said, "This is your guy. This is the next guy." But it's also just one. So we also have perspective that we're not going to get carried away with this.
And to follow up, Erik, double-digit leads mean nothing in a three-point era now, obviously, but you guys have let a couple slip away, and then Rondo's layup, I think, early in the fourth, put you guys down 2. At that point, were you worried about how much you would have had left? You are playing shorthanded and all that. Were you worried at that point?
No, our guys are in great condition. It's more about conquering those moments of truth during the game, and this is where this opponent is they are better than anybody in the league at that. You have LeBron and Rondo controlling and orchestrating, the important parts of the game, and we were losing those battles, big in the first 2 games. So you're not expecting it to be easy, like a 10, 12-point lead, that's going to go like that. But you have to be able to respond to it and do it appropriately. You have to do it with intensity, but you have to do it with a mind, to get what we're trying to do. It can't just be running around, as hard as you can. You have to have a real thought behind it, and a discipline and a poise. And we showed that better tonight, obviously, than the first 2 games.
Dan, here in the front.
Spo, the Lakers turn it over, I think, like 10 times in the first quarter or something like that, and you guys only lead by 3. At that moment, did you feel like that was an opportunity there that we didn't take full advantage of? And then I guess secondly, Jimmy's just physical toughness, the fouls he took late.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was stealing minutes on the ground trying to,
Nah, he wasn't. He got hit down there, but he knows how to do that. The answer to your first question, no. Like, you're not expecting it to be easy. You have to do whatever is necessary. It's a 48-minute game for a reason. You have to be able to compete at a high level, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs during the course of it. I liked it, and I really wanted to see how we were going to respond. We've been in those moments in games 1 and 2. They were too fleeting, and we didn't respond to that well enough. This is elite competition both ways, and we responded to it better tonight. And then in terms of the physicality, this is what why he prepares the way he does, that is so uncommon year round, is to be able to take on that physicality, to make those plays, to be able to draw fouls and take contact and get up and be able to make those free throws. He just was, it's so settling when you have that type of guy in a really competitive game like this. It allows your other guys, and we're playing young guys, they can just be who they are. They don't have to worry about too much pressure or context. They can just be who they are when you have somebody like that takes on all the pressure for them.
Next question is from Naveen Ganglani from the Philippines.
Hey, Mabuhay.
Hey, Coach. Mabuhay. Coach, you've had a lot of players you coach over the years who are great. LeBron used to be in the Heat, Wade, Shaq, Zoe also. Just in terms of what Jimmy did today, guarding LeBron on one end and taking over the offense on the other end, where would you rank this in terms of some of the best individual performances you've seen throughout your coaching career?
Well, first, Mabuhay Salamapo, and then secondly, out of all due respect, I'm not going to rank it. It's one win. Jimmy understands this, that it's going to take whatever is necessary, everything over the top and beyond. This is not about comparing to anybody else in the history, and that's out of all due respect. It's about what we're trying to get accomplished in this locker room. We have a very committed group to this. We have incredible respect for this opponent. We have to figure this out. And if we're not on top of our game, we saw what it can look like, in the previous two games. But this is why we pursued Jimmy, so aggressively. We just felt all across the board there was an alignment, that we're sharing the same competitive values for right or wrong, and it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. We're aligned on that, and you're able to build a culture from that and develop a team around him.
Next question, Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
Erik, even the greatest players in the history of sports sometimes come up short when their team needs them the most, the way you needed Jimmy in this game tonight. What is it about Jimmy that makes him able to produce his greatest game ever in his most desperate game ever?
Well, I think there's a lot of genuine care and love in the locker room. Guys really want to do this for each other. Our hearts are broken, about, Goran and Bam, missing these games because there's sincere love, for them. And Jimmy takes that to heart. You guys know that they have to do more until or if those guys come back. But this is what competition's all about. You have to raise your game, and like I said many times, you just can't put an analytic or a number or an evaluation to Jimmy Butler in the conventional way. He is an elite, top percentile competitor, and this is top percentile competition that we're facing, and it's bringing out a different level. All right.
Next question is Vincent Goodwill.
Coach, when you know that Jimmy's going to play 40+ minutes and he's going to defend LeBron, what do you do from a coaching standpoint to buy him time on the floor so he can have a little bit of energy left to draw those fouls and not be completely worn down?
To be honest, we can't afford that. That's why he puts in the work that he does. That's why he does the insane things year-round, off-season, to put himself in a position like this to be able to handle all of this. No one could have predicted that we'd have, some of our main guys out and he'd have to play 45 minutes a game. But it's whatever is necessary at this point, and he's willing to take on that responsibility. We were not trying to save him, or I tried to steal him a couple minutes, here or there, but we're way past that now.
Malika?
Spo, you've said a lot that your defense should be what's feeding your offense. Can you just describe what Jay Crowder did for you on that defensive end?
Yeah, it's the hardest challenge of his career right now. He's facing an MVP type talent. He can't do it on his own. There's going to have to be a 5-man defense, and anything that I say right now, it's going to be a whole lot easier said than done. You just have to be a competitor and throw yourself out there, be vulnerable to the competition. He's our type of guy in terms of competitive spirit. But again, it's one game. We know there'll be a response, and we have to be ready for that. We're trying to get something accomplished right here, so we know it's going to be tough.
All right, the last question for Coach Spoelstra is David Aldrich.
Hey, David.
Hey, Erik. Their big-to-big passing the first two games really hurt you guys at different spots. So what did you do to try to take some of that away tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. They're really good, so They're doing that against our man in the first game. They're doing it against the zone. We try to bring a better spirit tonight competitively. We are who we are in between those four lines. It was good enough to get this win tonight. But those guys, that's a great team and great players that you have to take on that challenge.
All right, coach. Thank you.
Thank you.